No, you're not too drunk yet. Yes, I have a green beer. Yes, you're seeing green all around us because we're talking about St. Patrick's Day here in the Brew. When you got a drink and a web show, you obviously got to talk about St. Patrick's Day. We've got a lot of great stories here. Jersey Joe here on the East Coast. Joel over there on the West Coast with his mini bottle of Mountain Dew. Ooh, that's very tasty, by the way. But we got a lot of great stories for you today, and we want you to chime in as well because we're talking about crazy things you've seen at the bar on St. Patrick's Day. And we all got stories. A lot of us like to go out. It's a big deal here on the East Coast, so share your stories with us live. We got a bunch of you that have already chimed in, and we're going to read those off too. They're pretty good. But Joel, let me start with you. Is St. Patrick's Day that big of a deal in Vegas? Because it certainly is here on the East Coast.
It is, but I always have to work for it, so I'm never really out and about. But yeah, it's a huge deal.
It definitely is here too, and usually I end up having to work for it as well, and the parade happens in New York City. This year the parade happens on a Saturday because St. Patrick's Day is on a Saturday, and it starts at 11 a.m., but when I used to have to, when it happens during the week, I have to work. We're not getting the day off. So you get to hear everybody going down the street. You see it all when I work Rockefeller Center. Now I can see it out the window. But the thing you got to watch out for after you leave work is the piles and piles of green puke that just line the streets everywhere. Because people get all tanked up here at 11 a.m. it starts. You know, and the thing ends by like 5 or 6. So people are already completely lit and wasted by the time it rolls around to go home. And then, of course, you take the subway and the trains home. You get to see quite the shit show of people falling over and not being able to hang on. Does things like that happen in Vegas? You guys have a lot of parties, a lot of like parades and stuff for St. Patrick's Day?
Every now and then there's a party in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah. No.
I don't get to go out and experience that, but I think people overdo it everywhere, basically. And this is a party built on this is a city built on excess partying.
Yeah.
So it's no different here.
Well, I think that's true because even here it's an event. Like it's been going on for weeks here now, St. Patrick's Day. It started 2 weeks ago when Hoboken had their thing. Jersey City had theirs this Sunday. I don't know why you have it on a Sunday. Then Manhattan actually has theirs on the 17th. So it's a good 3-week festival here. I know Atlantic City had theirs last weekend. And people love to line up the bars here and drink green beers. I love green beers. Do you care if they give you a green beer? Because that's kind of fun.
Oh, I don't care. If anyone hands me beer, I just drink it. So I mean, it could be a pile of vomit, and I wouldn't even know until after I started drinking from the cup.
Well, around here, it's going to become a pile of green vomit later on. But let me ask you this, though. I mean, have you ever had any issues at the bars or seen anything crazy at the bars around St. Patrick's Day, not counting the times when you've had to work?
Not really. Last week, I saw this chick ride into the club with a horse in Miami and get kicked out, but I think that was just because it was not St. Patrick's Day. No, I don't think it had anything to do with St. Patrick's Day, but it was pretty crazy. And I feel like that's basically going to be what's going to happen. A lot of like chicks with titties hanging out and dudes throwing up everywhere dressed as leprechauns and shit like that.
Yeah, that does happen around here. I wonder if the horse is painted green, but you'll see all kinds of things like that.
It will be.
Do the cops get really tight with security there? Because they definitely do here in the East Coast. They don't put up with BS on St. Patrick's Day, and that's most likely when you have the bigger chance to get busted.
Yeah, it's like any big event here. And all the big events, which is basically year-round. So there's going to be tight security everywhere. There's going to be people out the whole 24 hours. I'm not looking forward to having to drive.
I used to go to Hoboken all the time for St. Patrick's Day, and it was a lot of fun. All the bars would open up, early, and they had a big parade in the street. But I haven't gone probably now in 8 years because it really got out of control. The bars would overserve people so much that they were, the parade would be going down the streets with bagpipes, and all of a sudden you'd have some crazy girl going down the street with their beer, right the beer right down, Washington Boulevard or Washington Street, in front of the crowd and everybody. And as soon as she got to the corner, bam, the cops right there to nail her. Open container laws. You can't have that outside. So there's all kinds of people pissing all over the place. So it got really, really rough in Hoboken. Got to the point where like cars were getting smashed. There was a couple rapes in a parking garage a few years ago. So they shut it down. And a couple of the bars this year actually lost their liquor license, so they wouldn't be open on St. Patrick's Day. So they really had to get tough on that. I hope it's not that rowdy in Vegas.
All I know is that the open container laws are probably not going to change because there are open container laws are not a big deal at all here year round. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
So that probably won't change. It's probably just going to be really high security and puke and all kinds of crazy shit everywhere.
Yeah. But a couple of you chime in and we asked you some of the craziest things you saw on St. Patrick's Day. So let's go to our first one because Starman says, everyone thinks they're Irish when they're really not. Men get drunk and black out. Women have their boobs out. Well, it sounds like Starman's found himself some good parties wherever he is or she is from.
Sounds like he just described Cinco de Mayo, too.
yeah, it is. But look, if we're trading crazy stories... If we're trading crazy stories, though, I have one. Because a couple of years ago, I went down to Atlantic City, and I was in Bally's Casino, and we'd all been drinking all day, and they have the thing called the Mountain Bar there where you can go ahead and drink. Well, next to it, they have a little like cafeteria-style window where you can get like a hamburger or chicken wings. So I went over there, and I got an order of 6 wings. I took them back to the bar and was eating them, and this big bouncer comes over, he's like, "You can't have these wings here." And I'm like, yes, I can. I've ate this bar like 100 times. You can't have these wings here. So I had like, I don't know, like maybe 1 or 2 left. So I hurry up and decided like hurry up and just eat the pieces. And I took them and threw them in the container. He grabs, he's like, "You're out of here." And I got tossed out of Bally's Atlantic City over a stupid, it was a bouncer with an ego trip who probably had dealt with way more people that were worse other than me throwing a fit over chicken wings. So yeah, that's the only time I've ever been thrown out of a casino too. But that...
He's just taking his frustration out on you. He probably had to deal with a bunch of assholes that day. And bouncers can only handle so much shit before the roid rage takes over. That's why they're bouncers.
It was pretty dumb, but it is what it is.
Thank you.
We got one more comment, and it's Rock for Guitar who says, "Young girls unconscious drunk in Central Park." Well, like I said, in New York City, they start early on St. Patrick's Day, 11 a.m., and even the bars here have the kegs and eggs special, where you walk in, you get yourself a green beer and eggs. No, thank you.
You say young girls unconscious in the park? That's a that's a really weird demographic to single out.
It's clearly he's had a good time partying in New York City over the years.
Clearly he's a pedophile. Who the f*** is this shit like that?
Oh, man. But would you do that? Would you get into the kegs and eggs? Like, could you drink beer and then have, like, hard-boiled eggs? Definitely not here. I hate eggs.
They used to do shit like that, and it was like green eggs and ham for the Dr. Seuss Day or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I never got involved in that. I always thought that was kind of a waste of time, and if you really want to get sick fast, that's a good way to do it. That's what I think. I think that would totally screw with your stomach. Eggs and beer seems like an explosive combination. Unless you do it regularly, yeah, it probably would. Yeah. Not for me. We want to thank our live viewers and thank you guys for chiming in on the show. Make sure you click that like or subscribe button down below so you don't miss more episodes of The Brew. And on Thursday on Kick It Back with Jersey Joe, I've got 18 things you used to do. Remember you actually had to go to a music store and actually put on the headphones and listen to a new release? I've got 18 things you totally forgot that you used to have to do. That's Thursday on All New Kick It Back with Jersey Joe on my YouTube channel. Don't miss that. I know those days are long gone, and there's some other funny ones there that I totally forgot about. But it's as long as you're sober enough, it'll be on starting Thursday. So tune in. You're keeping it chill this week because you got to work once again on St. Patrick's Day, right? You said it was Saturday? Yeah. Is it the 17th or the 24th? 17th. Yeah, I have to work, so I'll be asleep. Yeah, I don't know. I may go and see New York City's parade this weekend. I don't know, still TBA. Usually I go out somewhere, though, and have some green beer. But like I said, it's a big deal here on the East Coast, and it's plentiful. But hey, I want to thank you guys for dialing up the web show today. Jersey Joe here, Ion over there in Vegas, in the green boxes. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and yours, and we'll see you next time, I hope.